Chess and Twitch international master William Paschall, along with Christmas Panda. There was recently an article, I think it was on CNN, about the best Christmas cities to visit in the world, and Budapest was featured, and Panda's in the Christmas spirit here. Just goes down to the Christmas market every day, hangs out with the other pandas from the zoo. But seriously, guys, what's up? It's getting toward Christmas. Snow on the roof. Construction. I apologize in advance for our roof construction here. You may hear some hammering and chainsaws in the background. Don't mind that. It's not as close as it sounds. Not right above my head. There is no danger whatsoever of the roof crashing in above my head. As much as we might find that very exciting. Asterbait, what's up? Arsenal fan? You guys both played in the Simul yesterday. Asterbait, Simul games with you are getting weirder and weirder. That was a very strange opening, man. We had a little bit of mouse problem, so Asterbait donated 100 bits. How many bits did you donate toward the mouse fund yesterday? By the way, I want to thank Jim, who didn't make the Simul, but nevertheless was kind enough to donate 300 bits to the stream. I'm actually quite sorry he couldn't make it. Normally, I think he can do the Simuls on Sunday. Arsenal fan, that game we played yesterday, what happens if you take on c6, like you say? Is it equal somehow? I was comfortable. I was like at least equal. Queen e7. I didn't go very far. I was just kind of happy I wasn't worse, since I sacrificed that pawn in the opening and I don't really know the variation very deeply. I was kind of on my own there. And a lot of my moves, I'm a little speculative about, like bishop h5, just on intuition. That's a cool variation, though. We should definitely play that again. Play it again, Sam. Morwa is challenging me. Oh, God. Can we get another victim first to kind of warm up on? Morwa's 2340. Actually, he's supposed to be at school. He's either playing from school or he got off for holidays. Let me get a warm-up game before I play more WoW here. Community. Players, let me just play a quick game, kind of mentally wake up. Community, players, watch, play. I can never get this straight. Create a game. Play a game. Lobby. Lobby, that's it. 8 plus 8, 10 plus 2. Uh-oh, we don't have a mod. It's alright, Mr. Coffee. I'm a mod. I count as a mod. Mr. Coffee will probably drop by later. Actually, I hope JCS will be around. He wasn't here for the Simul yesterday. Come on, guys. Give me a challenge. Which line of the Karo Khan would suit you best? The two knights variation is good. It's a good compromise. It's not quite as closed as the advanced variation. Yeah, I think the two knights is a good choice. It's actually quite popular at the highest levels lately. It's been featured in a lot of top games. Should actually check my correspondence games. This is just a low-rated opponent, but I just want to wake up a little bit, moving the pieces, see if I mouse slip anything. The old mouse here, getting a little unreliable. You were playing the advanced variation before, I see. It's the official FIDE time control, 3 plus 2. We should actually play that some streams. I should do a fast Blitz stream one day with 3 plus 2 or 5-0. E6 is a really weird move. You guys hear that? They're tearing part of my roof apart across the way. I thought they were done and then they're back again today, like undoing what they did before. It's not so bad for my stream, but when I record like videos, it's a disaster. I have to just totally change my schedule. I live in an old house, and basically the thing is more than 100 years old. So there's a lot of rot in the roof, and the building in general needs to be rebuilt. A lot of renovation. There's like 10 apartments in my building that are like being completely renovated. Crazy. There's like constant construction. So what's up? Yeah, lovely squares. Alright, I don't know. I guess h3 would have been a good move, but nothing special. He can go knight h6. Now he's in grave danger. Gravy. Still f6, holds on. But it costs him a lot in terms of weakening his position. f6 only move. So f6, and if I try to pull a fast one, like bishop f4, he has plenty of different moves. Takes on e5. I can't win a piece there by force. This is a completely unnecessary sacrifice by my opponent, giving up a piece without need. Silly SOS edge. Why did I just give him a pawn? Generous of me. It's very generous of me to give him a second pawn, but his dark square bishop's probably worth more than a second pawn. Knight d7 and he stays alive for a while. Alright, whatever. Just a warm-up game. A warm-up game. Marwa is challenging me, and I've got challenges from Juicebox Wizard and Ronchez Lagatorsky, who I think I played before. I just needed to play one game to kind of make sure my mouse is working and I'm half awake. Marwa is tough and fast. This is 3+2. He's actually kind of spicy for his rating. 1503, but fighting. He's got 2 pawns for the piece. Yesterday in my tournament, my team championship game, my opponent also lost a piece, but he could have probably fought possibly to a draw down a piece. There was not enough pawns left on the board. If he had played the position right, there was a very, very strong chance if my opponent had played perfectly yesterday, I would have ended up with like rook and bishop versus rook. You know, maybe I could win anyway. The guy was like 2,000, but that's a very, very tough endgame to play. But there's no guarantees. Juicebox, thanks for joining us from Southeast Asia. What's up, guys? Tell your friends and family about the stream. If you find it instructive, again, I apologize for the noise. Nothing we can do about it. They're basically tearing the roof apart across the courtyard from me. It's hard for me to tell. It's really loud. It sounds really loud to me. This guy is... Maybe bishop g5 was interesting there. Then maybe my bishop gets trapped. Bishop g5, rook takes rook, rook takes rook, f4. He's good for 1,500. What's his deal? He's supposed to just give up and die. Just die already. Wow, even king centralization. One thing I don't really want to do here is be too subtle. Oh man, Arsenal. Mind reader. Take aim at the weak points. I was talking about this yesterday. Look at that, sneaking my A pawn. Sneaking of the A pawn. I don't know, rook A1 is pretty bad, actually. Beyond pretty bad. It's a really bad move. What am I supposed to play there? A5? Anyway, he would kind of take over. The extra bishop makes his presence felt. If he had played maybe bishop c6 instead of a6, I mean c6, bishop c6, I was just afraid I was going to lose control of the d2 square. Acerbate, you smell any mates around here? Not quite. Ugh. What am I going to do? He's still cagey. Very cagey character. Ooh, knight g6. He's pretty aggressive for 1500. Damn. I'm up a piece for a pawn, and I still don't know how to win. It's very strange. All I can do is rely on cheap shots. Acerbate. My inspiration. Terminal. Now you can give up. Alright, this was meant to be just a warm-up game, guys, but it got a little out of control. Mate. No mate. It's got to be a mate now. This is going to be stalemate if I'm not careful. G4. We got it. Hopefully he has a move here. He believes in playing it out to the bitter end. Alright, Morwa is up. Juicebox Wizard, Arsenal fan, and then the others. Did I miss a faster mate? Probably. Morwa. If I play G3 here, this is not a good line, right? G3 in this position. What do I play here normally, like knight B5? Funny. I thought I had an alternative way of playing that variation. Okay. Caruana has basically shifted, I think, the popular theory in this variation by playing that early 95 line, which was always considered a sideline in the World Championship. He's basically Emery Tate. He's basically Velimirovich not good. It's not good. But it's fun. The important thing is it's fun. The wing gambit. Emery. Emery is gone to the great beyond. Now dog starts barking. It's like the dog was unhappy that they stopped hammering on my roof. The minute they stopped with the chainsaw and hammering, the dog started barking. That's strange. Any trolls in the house? It started the exact second the noise stopped from the builders. It like disturbed the dog that there was no noise anymore. Uh-oh, looks like Marwa's kind of flustered. He malfunctioned when we played G4. Hey, it's Bob. What's up, Bob? What's up, Doc? Rook H5? I feel like I'm at the dentist. It's like drilling sound. No. You're not allowed to play that. He's hanging the exchange here. Hanging of exchange. Just recapture. Good choice. The strange thing about Marwa is his time usage. He must have some kind of built-in... He's got some sort of built-in timer that never lets him spend more than a certain amount of time on every move. He always has more time than you, no matter what, whether he's winning, losing, or it's a dead draw. How do you do that? How do you just constantly watch the clock and to see who has more time? Or I try not to pay too much. I'm like, Asterbait doesn't pay attention to the clock at all. He always has more time, regardless of position. Okay, let's go. Got all of our pieces except for that bishop on f1 in the game. Ooh, I had a strong move though. Wow. Oof. Man, this is brutal, isn't it? Bishop h3. End of the line. This is his last move. It's going to hurt me a lot more than it's going to hurt you, a lot more than it's going to hurt me. He went that away. He went that away? Seriously? Wow, what happens if knight d5 check? It's all good. This was not according to program. Yes, Bob, why are you... We know who Terry is. Why are you posting his personal information? Champion of Normandy for his age, dudes. He's a friend of mine. He's really legit. You guys have seen him play here a million times. I like how Bob doesn't come on the stream for like 2 months and immediately starts harassing people. We haven't seen you, like, nobody knows who you are. You're trolling him by putting his personal information on the stream. Actually, he was like subjected to harassment in the last Blitz tournament. One of his opponents. The last time he was on my stream, Bob, seriously. I mean, if you like continue to bother him, he won't come back. And he's like one of the only good players who's over 2,300 who plays on the stream. I think Bob needs to chill. Yes, Bob, you don't need... Am I copying your info and putting it on my stream? No, that's not normal. He was just like harassed the last time. He's just a kid, you know. Well, when you get to 2,300 Arsenal, you know, it's kind of an achievement. We have a lot of those players here, obviously. You know, lots of 2,300s playing on stream, right? Plethora of them. So let's make sure we alienate the ones we have. Because we have too many already. I wonder why. I'm not going to play this game. Anyway, goodbye. Goodbye. You have mail. Arsenal, really, dude. It's insulting to say the truth that it's nice to have players who are like 2,300 on the stream. Are we going to pretend that people who are 2,000 are masters now and that we're all the same? We're all the same. We're all the same inside, Arsenal fan. We're all the same people inside. We all have to pretend we're the same level. It's politically correct that way. Don't worry, you're a master too. Everybody's 2,300 and they're all just as good, okay? Nobody's stronger. It's all right, man. Now I'm distracted. I'm not in the mood for Bob. Bantering and trolling. I think you're really good, Arsenal. Actually, Marwa isn't a master either. He's only like 2,000 FIDE, but in Rapid he's close to master strength. anything faster than 30 minutes, and he probably is legitimately 2200 in strength. But after the last time when he played, the last time Marwa was here, he was harassed and insulted by 10-year-old, one of these guys in my tournament on Tuesday. And he literally comes on the stream, and we have to put up with Bob copying and pasting his bio in the chat. I mean, yeah, that's not against the rules, but I mean, that's like kind of rude, you know. I wouldn't really appreciate it if I'm just some random guy watching the stream and somebody copy and paste my info in the Twitch chat. It's like you're singling him out for some reason and making fun of his use of terms, and it's just ridiculous. Arsenal, you're in the challenge list. Juicebox is not. Honestly, I have enough trouble with my stream as it is. I don't need people like Bob making it worse. It's hard enough to be a streamer these days. I took Ranchez out of order. I should have taken Arsenal fan, but I was upset by this whole discussion. Ranchez is not a subscriber. I'm not supposed to take his challenge first, but I just lost my focus. Immediately I get this idiot behavior the first 30 minutes of my stream. I was thinking of taking with the pawn here. Now we have pressure on e4. Slightly, I resent it. Slightly, I resent it. Then you shouldn't team up to upset me. Queen c4. Queen c4 no good here because of d5. Just don't, you know, like Lynn Ronstadt said about Trump, don't enable him. Don't be enablers. I'm talking to Juicebox and an Arsenal fan. Don't enable. We don't need Bob to be enabled, you know. He's a problem. And I don't want to start my stream out that way. Just to troll. That's the point of taking with the e-pawn. We've got extra weapon to use against e4. I've got no moderator in the chat today, so it's hard to focus on playing and dealing with trolls like Bob. I mean, I thought he was a good guy, but to come back and immediately start harassing my legitimate subscribers is just rude. Queen c4, d5. Wait's just lost here. That was good. And he missed bishop a6. Bishop a6, queen a5 he has. But then knight c6, that's a problem. So I can't do it. Can't win the exchange. That would be a good way to play this, though. Maybe just c5. Got to watch out for this a pawn. I mean, c6 drops the bishop. I have to I can't do that. I have to play this something else. Did I just blunder? No, I did. But wait. I played this. Oh my god. Right. So he could have played d5. Man, so that was actually really bad. He's using a version of that idea here. I shouldn't have said anything. Is this just a big exchange? King takes, queen d5 check, king f8, queen a8, bishop takes f1. Yeah, but that's like picking up the material he lost. Well, I have no choice. My e8's hanging. This is an official disaster. Now white's just better because black is overextended. Good game. Well, I obviously saw that in advance. I got that one weak point. Yeah, I could have just played like bishop c6 or whatever. And I'm just better. I'm like a clear pawn up. Now it's a disaster. Okay, material's equal, but I'm all overextended without any compensation for it. Very, very bad. This is just going to make it worse if I play c5. It looks like I'm objectively lost. I just lose my a pawn. Now he takes the b file. And I'm just a clear pawn down. Overextended position. Totally lost. He's from Serbia? Slovakia, I'm sorry. That's weird. I didn't know. That's weird. The Slovakian flag has that little emblem on it. Because you can never be sure if people are really from whatever flag they put. Dude, my position is toast. The problem is the a pawn and my king is open. It's not Slovenia. I live in Hungary. I should know where Slovenia and Slovakia are. I've been to both. All right. I wonder if objectively he should trade queens with my king as exposed as it is there. This is definitely a mistake. White's probably not winning anymore, objectively, because his passed pawn is non-existent now. He has an extra pawn, but it's not as meaningful. That's a terrible practical mistake. Should never give up the a pawn in exchange for another pawn there. And I guess now d5. We're surviving. Yesterday I thought I was surviving against someone on sound, but I lost rook and 2 against rook and 3. Okay, he's in legit time pressure. But it is increment, and maybe people they're not used to playing with increment. They act like they're playing, they behave like they're playing without increment. I mean, he's got plenty of time here. And he takes, Let's calculate this. Maybe I should take with the bishop. That loses a piece. Most things lose a piece here. I was a little concerned he could play knight g7 there. Oh, I'm dropping that pawn. Not just yet. All right. Guess I'm dropping it after all. The king is pretty bad. He's probably winning there with knight f4. So this might not be bad either. This is no easy draw. Ooh, my king is sort of segmented away. What have I done? Seriously? Oh, that way. Oh, that's my first game against this guy? I thought I had played him before. Wow, he's got awesome endgame technique. Brand new account? No, he's got 1,000 games. Check out the endgame. I think I'm lost once I played h5. Shit, it was a draw here, but it was a win before. When I play h5, I'm lost. I'm losing all kinds of drawn endgames. Yesterday against someone unsound, I lost rook and 3 against rook and 2. Yesterday against Save a Dog, I lost a drawn queen endgame where I played the wrong king move. But I got No, Bob is permanently banned from my channel now. I don't want to see him anymore. I've never been this pissed. Why don't you go, like, troll someone who has, you know, not enough problems already? Why do you have to harass me? Seriously. I have enough problems in my life that you don't need to do that. Mr. Coffee, we have problems with the troll in the stream. I've already reported him to Twitch. I mean, it's out of control. Whatever. I don't know why the guy has to come here and destroy my Twitch stream. I already, like, can't even make a living, you know? I really need that. This is a common mistake. E5 makes it worse. Yeah, Juicebox, you're in the list now. That's weird that the app doesn't, it drops you or whatever. Normally when people even get disconnected, it still saves them. Arsenal has a thing for backward d-pawn structures. Well, the problem with the last game wasn't the position, it was the time. I can defend that endgame easily if I have enough time, but if you only have 3 seconds per move, it's not so easy. You can't trade pawns. Any pawn move you make instantly loses, as I came to find out. But I mistakenly thought I had played that player before. So I have no idea who it is. Pawn takes pawn? Why is this no good? If b5, knight b6. GG Hillis, not a real good start today. How are you doing? The problem with this is that maybe he can just play around it. No, his knight's just hanging. He can't. There is that move. How much does that change the scenario? Bishop takes d4. You broke 2,000 in classical. Nice. You're all 2,300 in my eyes. I feel like I really screwed myself on this deal. Okay, I'm a pawn up, but I felt like I could have done a lot better. Sorry guys, second. Black has a knight on e8. I mean, do I really want to improve his knight for him? Then you'd really enjoy the roof construction here. If that's a problem. Queen takes, rook takes. Black has a good chance to draw this. It seems completely unfair. He has a knight against a bishop, clear pawn down. With pawns on both sides of the board. His pawns are on the wrong color. But I have to play like Karpov to win this. Okay. Bishop b7. I like it. Guys, tomorrow is the Sparkle Horse. Sorry, the Ponda Arena. Ponda Rapid Arena. Tomorrow. But we need to think about whether to make it open. Last week's Blitz tournament was successful as an open tournament. We had a lot more players and generated more interest than the closed Ponda Club. So I'd like to get some input from the subscribers in particular. Polka mixed with techno? Damn, dude. That's pretty awful. Tech polk. What's going on here? Okay, if Snowbrook's on the board, he's totally gone. Knights are really bad at stopping past pawns on the outside. Rook a8, bishop takes b5. But his knight is dominated, which is a serious problem. Oof. I win a piece here? Someone on sound? No. We have another way to play this. Bishop b7. Someone on sound would find this in yesterday's endgame against me in my simul. You're playing amateur over the board tournament. But what does that mean when you say amateur over the board tournament? We're all amateurs compared to Magnus Carlsen. OMG. Man, I'm lucky I'm still better after this horrific hallucination. Dude, you should just take on a2 and play bishop d5, knight c4, rook takes b5. It's probably a draw. Well, maybe not. I don't know. It's tricky. I can't believe I did that. Alright, whatever. Now we're clearly better. Clear better. Still not easy to win, though. This is easy to win. Another great endgame by both sides. Alright, anyway. We played badly. We played this really badly. A lot of mistakes. I'm having trouble focusing after the initial start of the stream. There's no way to hold this position. It's just too much. Two pawns connected. Nobody gets a rate. Nobody's got a rating. Except maybe a couple of guys, but they're not gonna. What does that mean, though? I mean, so it's just not going to be submitted for rating? It's like an unrated tournament, basically? Is that what you're telling me? What we needed was another troll. You mean the thousands of dollars of damage you've done to my stream by insulting people and chasing them away? Is that what you're talking about? Doesn't quite get offset, you know. I've had enough. All right. Juicebox Wizard. Juicebox Wizard finally gets to play. Mini Olympiad with other companies in your field. That's cool. Yeah, like in inter-company tournaments like that. No, I mean, we play the endgame badly. Arsenal. We should go back to that initial endgame where you got like knight on d6, knight on c4, white to move, and I played bishop b7. I think that's an interesting position. And if white's winning, I have to be very precise in that position. Knight f3 is boring. What, on the first move? You have to get it out, man. I mean, it has to go to f3 at some point usually. I mean, if it goes to e2, it's usually even more boring than that. It's not really boring, Arsenal fan. I mean, it's just a transpositional move. You know, it shouldn't be necessarily any more boring than any other move. You know, I mean, we're just it is what you make it, basically. You can play boringly after that. I mean, I think that a lot of times when I play setups like g3 on the second move, that's boring. The English symmetrical is boring, dude. You played c5, you know? I mean, you should be blamed for playing c5. I think the symmetrical English is the main cause of boredom. I'm guilty of doing that a lot myself. That's really where it gets awful, you know? Yeah, I mean, the Opening Explorer, on another topic, Gigi Hillis, the Opening Explorer, if you access that on lichess, seems to think that h3, it seems to think that h3 is the best move. I think those positions, though, to be fair, what am I doing here? Four knights English. I'm supposed to play knight to d2, according to Botvinnik. There was this Nigel Pova. Knight d2 gives you this pawn. I don't think this should be really that dangerous for black, actually. But I guess that's the best move. It's also possible to play knight e5. Actually, I think Larry Christensen has played that years ago. I remember. But I doubt that the d4 variation is actually a problem. More people tend to play pawn takes pawn here, Juicebox. It's good to see you playing something critical. Well, Arsenal fan, I mean, seriously, that variation you just went into, it's like the main variation for all the symmetrical English. Probably the single most popular variation of the entire massive category of symmetrical English, dude. You know how many games I've had here with that? Like, probably more than any other single opening. That exact setup is so common. I've literally had more games. I have like 2 tournament games with A6 like you played it. One going back 30 years ago, you know. It's a patent blunder that's bad for black. But I mean, you literally played one of the most prevalent openings I get. That position. In fact, yesterday, I had the chance to play that line in my tournament game, and I was like, I'm not going to do this again because every single game gets boring. And I was thinking the same thing. So when I played my game yesterday and over the board, I basically decided to play. It's a funny game. I decided to play E3 instead of G3 in the opening because I'm so sick of that, you know. But on the other hand, that variation that we're playing there. Wow, nice move, G6. Great job. Juicebox Wizard playing incisively in the opening here. He's been studying. I'm not saying it's good, but it's interesting. I got to get off the long diagonal. So, I mean, you're basically... I think there's an argument that the variation we just played there, Arsenal fan, is the most important position in the symmetrical English there is. You know, theoretically, the most important position. And white has to prove an advantage in that variation from move 9 or whatever. It's extremely critical theoretically, you know, to opening prep. You could play something more topical, even though it is kind of a boring system. It's very, very important. But I think that anybody who plays C4, C5 is asking for boredom, basically. And I'm sick of it. I can't play it anymore. The funny thing is I used to play other things against the English, and then one day I got this book by like this British IM, Richard Palliser, where he recommended playing symmetrical English. So for a time I really thought maybe it's legitimately interesting, but not really. I think it's just really is boring. You got to try to play something more interesting against the English. Something combative, maybe E4, you know, C4, E5. If you want an interesting game, you know, if you want to draw, then C4, C5 is great. But seriously. Juicebox played the opening really well here. Usually he struggles in that part of the game, I found. He just kind of makes up his own stuff. In this case, he's done a good job. I still think that white has a slight edge. Is there a way to force a king pawn position versus knight f3? No. No, unfortunately not. You can't force white to play e4. I mean... Dude, you know how annoying it is? I mean, it's annoying for me too. I had to prepare sometimes for people who play knight f3, and it's awful, you know. I've been trying... Yesterday against HGGG, I played knight f3, d6, c4, bishop g4. You know, I mean, anything to like create some kind of imbalance in the position, even if it's like worse for white. I mean, for black. Yeah, knight f3 is really irritating. Peter Balkus, what's up? Do I play knight c6 to play e5? Okay, you can play like knight f3, knight c6 on move 1, but then white's going to transpose to a Chigorin. So you have to play the Chigorin in order to play knight c6. It really depends on what you play against d4. You have to treat it like, you know, constantly keeping all these like transpositions in mind. Knight f3 is easily the most annoying move. Because it is solid, it's transpositional, there's a lot of tricky stuff. That's why Hollifman and Kramnik, those guys started playing it and popularizing the whole repertoire with knight f3 back in the late 90s. I mean, it's always been a move, but it was always kind of, okay, the Reti or whatever, you know. Slightly better here. I think that maybe b5 is more than slightly better. So now he's like bound by c5. Terrible. Pushing the h-pawn for who? Well, here, I mean, it's irrelevant. There's too much going on in the center. The center wasn't resolved. Probably Juicebox Wizard needs to play like d6 now. I mean, that's to get a little bit of dark square control, I would think. You could play d5, but you might end up just like losing the central pawn. Even d5 might be playable. d5, cd5, cd5, knight c3, d4. Yeah, he's got to move the d pawn. Actually, I don't know what a6 was. That's a bad move. The opening was interesting, but I don't like... Now he's like positionally lost. I don't think the h-pawns are going to change anything here. The struggle is in the center. Once I tie him down completely, you know, then we can push our h-pawn, maybe, to just create another avenue. But actually, this may not be so great. Once already I had to avoid an exchange of pieces. Now I'm going to have to do it again. Queen a5 is always bad. Like I say, constantly. This is just out of play, but it's not like there's anything for him to do. He had to play knight f7 now to try to challenge my knight on d6, and I would probably like pull it back to e4 because I really don't want to trade pieces to free his position. This is actually a mistake. Probably knight d6 is just a mistake by me. I should increase the pressure somehow with the rooks. Rook d1. Timing is important. I mean, I can try to grab that pawn on d7. Maybe knight takes c6. But against Arsenal fan, for example, like last game, it almost felt like a grab material too simply. That was what? It felt like the worst game against me? I don't think it was that bad, dude. You actually had drawing chances if you play the endgame correctly. I don't know what more you can ask for with black if white played correctly. I mean, you just have to play the endgame better. Actually, a6 is a terrible mistake. Dude, just don't play a6. You won't get a bad position. It's easy. Hygge. Guys, I'm holding a tournament tomorrow night. I want to get your input as to whether we should make it open or have it just for the members of our private club. Juicebox just completely unexpected move here with bishop takes f5 threatened. It's a nice trick to get to play that. Oh no. That's a great move. Great move. Wow. He got the pawn forward and that changes everything. I'm up a pawn in an endgame. It should be winning, but not really what I wanted. I wonder about bishop d3. Blocking my own pieces. Damn. That's an amazing resource, Juicebox. Nice job. Last week the tournament went great. Dragoon held a tournament the other day. Well, he doesn't have as an established like community as me. So of course they're going to be all randoms. I mean, they're randoms automatically. Last week's tournament went great. But yeah, it's not clear what the answer is. What was the time control to his tournament? Was he playing something fast? No, I mean, were you here, Arsenal fan, on Tuesday when I had a Blitz tournament? Did you play? Because that's what we did last week. It went really well. Just, you weren't here, were you? Technical endgame. Think positive. This move. That's just sending the pawn to his doom. 3+2 isn't too bad. That should be a good time control. We've had a mixed consensus about what I should do. I'll just have to make a judgment call. We'll see tomorrow night, guys. We're going to host a tournament. It'll be rapid chess, to be determined, at 6:30 p.m. CET here. Rematch. Also Shock and Huga. Regulars. Kind of new regulars to the stream. I was thinking of doing the tournaments, where we have some of them are club, Ponda and Horses Club, and some of them are open. That was my threat, to mix it up. I don't know if Also is here. Alright, I guess not. That's weird. He just challenged me recently. It's like, can't forget, like 2 minutes later. Alright. I tried to play more e4, maybe more e4, e5 with black, classical openings, because that was never my thing. Yesterday we had a Berlin defense. Black did something crazy, like a really early knight d4. It was actually a6, bishop a4. Yeah, the game was like a6, bishop a4, b5, bishop b3, and knight d4, like a horrible bird defense. Bird's defense. I like queen e2, but I think theory says that d3 is the best way to avoid the Berlin. If you ask me, they're both playable. This is a really old school romantic move from 100 years ago. Yeah, it's played going back to the era of like Chigorin and turn of the century chess. But I think it's cool. It's dangerous. It can transpose to the whirl attack. We might even have ideas of castling long if you want to go really old school. But I'm so sick of the Berlin defense. You gotta consider other options. My friends call it the refutation of chess. But same thing here. I think bishop c5 is black's best move. There was an old game, Chigorin versus Montgredien or someone like that, some French player from the turn of the last century, before the turn of the last century, where it was like queen e2, bishop c5, and I think Chigorin like tried to actually, I don't remember which move he actually captured on c6 and tried to take the pawn on e5, but it led to a very nasty initiative for black. I mean, black was super active. So it's, you know, it kind of looks like white could, since this is protected, a lot of people assume black has to like defend the e5 pawn here. But because of the danger on the e-file, the Mongredi endgame was like bishop c5, bishop c6, and he didn't even take with the d pawn. He did like b takes c and just sacrificed his pawn on e5. Black had really strong counterplay. This is like an ancient game from 125 years ago. Well, I don't know, yeah, more or less. 125 years ago. Oh, I pre-moved again. I did that during the simul? Is that how I played queen f3 in yesterday's simul? So we used the whirl attack theme here. Actually, the whirl attack itself is probably a good way to play against the Royal Lepez, which people know less well. Okay, so what do we do now? Pawn e5 first. Because if bishop takes c6, bishop takes c6, pawn takes e5, knight takes e4. Maybe I can play knight d4 there. Still have some sort of advantage. I don't really like the position of my queen respective to his rook. The other way to play this is just pawn takes pawn, and then knight takes. And then knight takes e5. And bishop takes b5, queen takes b5. That doesn't make sense. So he has to take back on e5. Then I play bishop d7, knight d7, queen b5. Looks like I'm stealing a pawn. You hate your position already. That's the point. Yeah, this doesn't look right. The right idea is rook e8, but not exactly here. The best line is, again, bishop c5, followed by, basically to try to play bishop c5, castle, and play rook e8 as soon as possible. I mean, that would be, I think, the optimal setup for black. The general idea is, in fact, to use the rook on e8 against that, against our queen on e2. So you have the right theme, but not the right position. That's the way to take advantage of queen e2. Correct. What's his best answer to queen b5? So he has some sick trick. c6, queen takes b7. Dude, seriously, I could be lost. c6, queen takes b7, knight c5. Rook takes d8. That is an insane position. Okay, rook takes d8, rook takes d8, and I've got my queen attacked on b7, and no way to guard the back rank mate. Oof. I can't even play queen d5. Damn, dude, so I have nothing. Nothing tactically, no way to take that pawn. Queen b5, c6, queen b7, knight c5, rook d8, rook a d8, resigns. I almost went into it without thinking. Now I have just the tiniest microscopic advantage due to the d file. c6 just helps black. Man. I'm not sure if the best move is bishop e3 or knight e2. Slight advantage for white. Boring position, symmetrical structure. This is not why I did this. I thought I could play queen b5, but of course the back rank. Is the martial attack an aesthetically pleasing draw? Nobody knows, Arsenal. No, at the end of the line, Arsenal, my queen is hanging to knight on c5. There is no time for other moves. I have two choices, lose a queen or get mated. That's the problem. Other than that, it's great. My queen is hanging to a knight on c5 on b7 in that variation. That's the entire point. Now he has bishop c5, almost equalizing. Now we're talking about microscopic edges. Almost nothing. Very disappointed. Guys, welcome to my stream. Bring the trolls. The best thing about that troll, he has like 3 accounts viewing my stream. Increasing my... We should get more trolls, basically. Trolls increase viewer numbers. Maybe I should take with a knight here. My viewer numbers have been really low, so I guess I shouldn't discourage these trolls. Dude, it wouldn't let me move the knight. My mouse. Guys, contribute to the mouse fund. No one has even donated a bit today, and I need a new mouse to prevent mouse slips. Gave away my extra mouse. Jim donated 300 bits before the stream started, which I appreciate greatly. Hugo did a great job equalizing. I don't know, maybe b5 weakens his position a little bit. Gives me a little bit of something to latch onto with c5. That troll alone had like 3. We call him now, we don't call him Bob anymore. He's just that troll. The troll had like 3 accounts. I could easily have, you know, not paying. I don't want to pay bots like other streamers. Not mentioning names, but I think Twitch frowns upon people using bot accounts to up their viewer numbers. Not really sure. We don't do that, obviously. Mr. Coffee, 100 bits for the mouse. Thank you, sir. But trolls are completely, you know, legit. There's no rule against getting trolls to support your stream by increasing your viewership. We need more. More trolls, please. Never thought I'd say that. Damn it. Hugo's playing too well. This was a weak move by me. What am I doing? I'm going to lose on time. Damn, dude. I freaked him out there. He shouldn't have done it that way. What am I doing? Repeat? Rinse, repeat. You almost lost on time. You could have just lost a pawn. Why didn't I just take it? Oh my god. This is so bad. Why didn't I do this before? Now my knight is trapped? Oh. Oh. Thankful. Thankful I'm winning, finally. An awful endgame again. Sorry, time pressure, horrible. Mr. Coffee and Fish Rat Cow. We've got 400 at least for the new mouse. This one has been pretty good. It's been faithful. I mean, I think it's at least 2 years old. You can't ask too much. I think a mouse for 2 years isn't bad. This opening, man. D6 isn't bad. It's not the best move, but you got into a bad position quickly here. You're supposed to... This is awkward for black already. Queen E8. So this has happened in previous games, dude. This exact position. David Marziano. Really good, correct play. Now my entire position was based on this blunder that doesn't work because of c6, queen takes b7, knight c5 resigns. You know? So, both previous games were drawn. White has this microscopic edge. Good job. Prony. Brianna, Yeah, I think it's starting in like 30 minutes. You might want to check it out. No, I have no idea. Maybe tomorrow. I think that's what Bob does. That's where he's been. He's been busy with his Brianna account. That's why I didn't have time to troll my stream with his proper accounts. Okay. Florin Magnus, please re-challenge me to casual. Hanging pieces in live chess. Yeah, well, that's very typical for people who start late or don't have a lot of experience playing tons of games. Unfortunately, there is no magic cure. I guess you should just like do a blunder. I mean, just really like consciously, every single move, try to like blunder check the position until you get beyond that. I mean, you have to just really make a conscious effort. I don't see another way to get around it. Typically, it's a problem for people who started chess late. They don't have this like unconscious, subconscious. Experienced players have a sort of subconscious blunder checking that develops over time. I believe that it's possible. This is a philosophical chess question, but I believe that it's possible that we have some sort of subconscious calculation that goes on some level. But I'm not a scientist, you know, obviously it's just my intuition. But I think that if you're the player who's prone to blundering in like live games, I mean, really you just need to, every single move, just make sure, you know, be extra careful. I can't really think of a better way to stop it, you know. So Arsenal fan, that's a re-challenge. He used his free game already. How much time do we have left? Okay, so it's 12:30. We started at 11. We've got plenty of time left. Florin. Carlson Georgiou. Yeah, Juicebox Wizard. I thought you played the opening really, really well, and that's typically your weak point, you know? So I was happy with the way you played opening stage. Normally I like to play the Sicilian, but I'm trying to branch out a little bit. Petrov. Pretty strong player here. Maybe we'll play the Petrov. The problem with the Petrov is that it tends to be very drawish. One-legged parrot asks if I'm a prony. The proper terminology is brony, no? It's just a joke. Sadly. I know you guys are disappointed that I'm not a real brony. So I said the Petrov is boring, but not when you play the Afro-Maya variation. I think this was discovered by pitting engines together and making them play without an opening book. Another interesting line that's not that stupid is knight takes e4. An old favorite of my friend Charles Hurtan. Mamajarov has played that. It's not that simple. I should actually give that a shot. I think next time I play Nefedov, I'm going to play that. One of these people who plays like Queen e2 against one of those Queen e2 Petrov players. Okay, so simply knight f3. Wait, what did you do? You challenged me to a weird time control, 3+2. Florin challenged me to 3+2. You guys are supposed to challenge me to 5+3. Alright. It's a little bit faster than I like to play on the stream. The Afromeyev. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I don't remember. It's pretty risky for black to play this, but it just about works, I think. If you know exactly what you're doing, which I don't. G6 castles, bishop, G7, rook E1, castles. G6 castles, rook E1, castles. Bishop. Why is that necessarily that bad? Nothing is normal here, Arsenal. Looks normal. This is not normal. But now the question is knight c3. Maybe knight c3 not as dangerous as the immediate castles. Back in the mid to late 90s, I had a friend of mine, when we were bored, we would take the old chess engines and pit them against each other in these engine matches. But then the fun part was like taking away their opening books and see what they would do, you know, without the opening book to rely on. And it seemed like they always went for the Petrov automatically. And then they would not know to play d6. They would play this pretty much almost every game. Like really old versions of Fritz or whatever. Frolic 6767 is rating with a party of 11. Nice. Thanks for the raid. Arsenal beat me to it. Arsenal, did you say you were leaving? Alright, so we managed to escape the opening without any sort of total disaster, but still don't really trust my position. Bishop g5 is going to be a problem. d6, bishop g5, queen d8, knight d5. I'm losing material there already. Do I have to play h6, like literally, to stop bishop g5? Very bad position I'm about to lose on time. I guess I can play queen d7 at some point. It's pretty horrible, though. Thanks for the raid, Frolic. I played this opening. I wasn't really prepared for it. Probably I should be a little more consistent. I mean, I played the Petrov to be solid against a higher rated opponent. Most of my opponents today have been 17, 1600, 1500. And then I ended up playing like Queen E7, which is just ultra risky. It doesn't really make sense. I mean, play a solid opening and then turn around and play a totally insane variant of it on the next move. Be consistent, you know. Don't play the Petrov for a win. I don't really get One-Legged's comment. Do I regret playing chess so much and still too little? That's like my opening choice. Inconsistent. All right, d5, bishop g4. What do we want to do? Just h6. Weaken ourselves. I could play bishop g4. Oof. Oh, he's pre-moving bullet style. Lucky I survived. Now we have some strategic advantage, probably. That's a strong move. Good thing I saw that. Damn. I'm getting ripped apart. We had a winning position for 3 seconds there, but flagged. He found c4. This was a strong move, giving him some counterplay. But I don't normally play 3-2, man. You messed me up with the time control. I'm normally playing 5+3 on my streams, so that doesn't count. You don't get credit for a win there. I'm just on automatic 5+3 mode, so flagging me with 3+2 doesn't count. That's not acceptable. I can play 3+2 if you want, but I can't do commentary while I'm playing the game. I do play that if you'd like to play like off stream or something, no problem. But I would prefer 5+0. I like to play the sudden death time control rather than. My problem is that I'm used to 3-second increments, and I'm playing one increment. It's always 3-second increments. So when I switch to something like 3+2, I'm sitting there and like letting 3 seconds count off, and just not understanding why I lost on time. You can't just switch between increments. It's too weird. Why is my board like this? That's weird. I switched the board accidentally. Alright. Anyway, thanks for the game. But I didn't mean to accept that time control. 3+2 snuck in there. Guys, if we got the 7 plus 3, the 5 plus 3, right at the bottom of the stream, it says 5 plus 3 through 7 plus 3. I can't like discuss the game with a 3 plus 2 time control. And anyway, I think the games are pretty crappy quality. If you start to play at that speed, it's not really worth discussing. It's like commentating a bullet game. 5 plus 3 starts to be interesting for analysis, I think. It's okay. I understand. I just get freaked out by the 3 plus 2. That's why, I mean, I lost a piece at the end, but I really thought I had 3-second increment. It's hard to switch between 3, 2. Anyway, you played a good game. I mean, you were playing for time. You had a good position before, and then you messed it up. But what are we doing here? It's really weird. If I get, I'm really used to the 3-second increments. Now when it's like 2, I have to be super careful. I'm very slow with the mouse in general, and 1 second hesitation and I flag. With the 3 seconds, you're like, you've got tons of time. You've got plenty of time to slowly make the move. This is theory. Our last opponent was from Constanta. In Romania. I think I thought I played some player from Constanta, but I can't remember who it was. From Constanta. Maybe Lucian Philip, I think, or Philip Lucian, you say in Romanian. Maybe he was from Constanta, I can't remember. It's like a Romanian IM. I played in Timișoara, like a while back. Oh yeah, he's from Iași, that's right, okay. So I guess it wasn't somebody from Constanta. That's true. Anyway, I never played George Grigori, no. Is this just a serious blunder? I can play d5 now. That's a neat trick. I've never seen anyone try f5 in this position. Wow. I've definitely played this exact position before, but everyone I played defended passively. Isn't there like an open tournament in Constanta? They have? I didn't see it this year, but I had seen it advertised in previous years. King d2, f5, e5, rook d8, bishop c4, bishop e6. Rook takes b7. Maybe they just did it like one time. I think like 2 years ago I saw it advertised. Maybe I'm getting confused again though. Maybe that was Iași. Yeah. Alright, I've been to Romania many times, but never out there to the Black Sea or anything. Just the western part and like Bucharest and Transylvania. King d2, f5. I feel like sacrificing this pawn for pressure. Maybe like rook c1, rook c7 quickly. How do you guys think about this? Why so early today? Early. Mathematic chess. Early is the new late. No, you maybe didn't catch my streams for a while. I was living in the United States the whole summer, and I've been back in Hungary since a month now. So I stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 11 o'clock. I actually made it later. I was doing 10 a.m. I'm doing 11 a.m. Central European time, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, and Sunday nights. This is my European time. We've been doing this for about a month, back to the old schedule. So this is my deep idea to sacrifice a pawn. Looks like it worked out. Temporary pawn sacrifice. Hopefully I have enough compensation. I mean, I could just think about how to defend that pawn on d5 now. But honestly, black is really tied up here, so it seems like we have some time. I can't take the pawn immediately. Oof, rook b6. That's gotta be good. An EU friendly stream, exactly. Wow. Rook on the 7th, the rampaging rhino of rook. Reminds me of like Capablanca Tartakover. A little bit of a Capablanca Tartakover rook endgame here. Bishop placement. Thoughtful. If I stay here, I keep an eye on this b pawn. I almost automatically play bishop b3. It's probably a very bad move. Competing pawn majorities. Better king. That's the famous Capablanca Tartakover rook endgame where he penetrated with the king. Different way though. He went through like h4. So we got to h4, g5. You wonder if e6 is a move for black. It's a little late for that. You have violin exam. We had another younger player on earlier from France, and I was surprised because I thought that they should have school. Do you guys have like a winter holiday or something? There's rook c8. We're up a pawn in a bishop endgame though. Black is screwed here. It's too many pawns. 3-on-1 on the king side. That's way too much. This has got to be winning. I mean, I've got to be able to create two connected pass pawns. I mean, there's no like school holidays in Europe, are there? Yesterday were like fireworks. I didn't understand what that was about. For some in Hungary, it's different from other countries, but a lot of the school holidays are the same, you know, throughout Europe. Okay, so this isn't so easy to win. I'm slowly realizing, but I think we can do it. Need a plan. Okay, just yeah, simple. G5 check, H5. I hope that wins. Do I think that in the future there'll be more fast chess than classical 90 minutes chess? I hope not. I mean, already I think it's fast enough. But they don't have to compete with each other. I mean, there are people who are pushing for fast chess to get faster, but classical chess to get faster. But I don't see why. I mean, what are you gonna do all day, honestly? To have tournaments, it's already like 90 minutes. They're trying to make like 90 minutes. I think it's crazy that the London Chess Classic is in the evening. Like what do you do all day? You like sit around all day, get tired so you can go play your serious chess match after that. It's kind of crazy. So if I traded bishops, it's not a win. It's a draw. That's messed up. I don't think there's anything wrong with slow chess. I mean, chess was made to be played slow. It's fun and it's entertaining to play the faster games, but I don't think it should be like a substitute for slower chess necessarily. B3 check. All right. Yeah, Maggie's playing football, walking around. I mean, dude, it's like, okay, it's great for their entertainment perspective. They're selling tickets and stuff. But I still think like I would want the games to be the best they could possibly be. I like when tournaments where the game is maybe like at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. Even if it's like 4 o'clock, you start to get like tired by then. I mean, even if you're in good condition. I mean, I am wannabe. Didn't we play that guy before? I think you had king takes before allowing bishop d5. Oh. That works too. That works too, Arsenal fan. What do we got for time left? Wait, it's IM wannabe or GM wannabe? I got time for these games. I was confusing IM wannabe with GM. There was some GM with a similar handle. I'll play knight f3 against Arsenal fan because he hates that. No, he's been complaining. I agree knight f3 is annoying. Who is IM wannabe 2700? Does anybody know? I rarely get challenged by their title players. He's challenging by the proper time control too. Let's take his challenge next. We'll give him preferential treatment for being a title player. If he waits that long, I'll play him. Then ask me after. I have a draw apparently against him before. So we have the same game I had earlier. I'm going to play Arsenal first because he's a subscriber. We already played, man. You tricked me. You tricked me with a second challenge. Arsenal playing exactly like the previous game with the same line. He's going to try to improve on Black's. Did you see that, Arsenal? Were you paying attention? I guess so. You were discussing that with us when we analyzed. So the engine here, not the engine, the opening explorer said queen e8 is like the main move for Black, setting up traps. Now bishop a4, knight d4. What if I do like bishop takes c6, pawn takes e5, knight takes e4, knight d4? I thought that would be an interesting line. I don't know. Yellow Dragon is a sub and a title player. You get extra treatment. Yeah, preferential treatment. But I won't drop games on purpose. I'm bad enough already. Huga had the same line, but he didn't play a6. This looks a bit awkward for Black. People don't know what to do against queen e2. I think a lot of people are playing the Berlin defense just because it has a good reputation, but they don't really do the homework, you know. And they only know the main line. So if you and they probably know d3. But honestly, I don't see anything wrong with queen e2. You know, it's a little more like fun than d3, because you got the ability to turn it into whirl-like variations where there's a little bit of bite for white. You know, d3 is just like playing the Joko piano. That's my argument. Like, if we're going to play d3 against the Roy Lopez, we might as well just not even play the Roy Lopez at all. You know, that's why people are playing bishop c4 at the highest levels. Basically, they figure, well, we might as well, if we're going to play d3 against the Berlin defense, have our bishop on b5 for no reason. We're not going to trade it on c6. We might as well just start with the Joko piano in the first place. Yellow Dragoon, but we didn't get a challenge from you. Oh, there he is. All right, so we got titled Monday. Play those guys. We've got some time left. I'll try to beat Arsenal as fast as I can. Mr. Coffee probably had to go to work by now. We'll have to manually start modding. Queen e8. Yeah, I guess that's possible. The other way you could play, I suppose, would be like d5. This looks less dangerous, though. It kind of makes sense to get the queen off the line. Maybe that's the best move, for all I know. I don't have a lot of development, honestly. I mean, that queen side is completely undeveloped. That's really not very inspiring, right? The only problem for black is his hanging knight on e4. f3 at any moment can be played. It appears, though, he's safe at c5, maybe even g5. What about kingside attack? Do we have maybe a real kingside attack here? Knight f5. Knight f5, kingside attack with no development. Our queenside is nowhere to be seen. We're basically going to be playing like rook odds. Knight g5, pawn takes pawn, queen g4, bishop f6, knight g7. You know, fantasy variation works perfectly here. Knight f5. That doesn't even make sense, like knight f5, queen g4. He just plays g6 and I have nothing. Queen g4 right away. Queen g4 right away. Might have something to it. I don't want to give him any secrets, he's probably listening. But queen g4 right away, again, g6. Then bishop h6. But then he has f5. Queen g4, g6. Bishop h6, f5. Pawn takes pawn. En passant. Knight takes. My development here is really dubious. Knight f5, pawn takes pawn. I don't know. Bishop h6. There's probably some simple way to gain an advantage I don't see. This doesn't look right, but hey, it's fun. We get to develop a piece. And he's already heard my analysis, so he doesn't have to think for himself. Arsenal's a practical guy. He'll just take what I said and do it. Oh, I had a hallucination, right? Oh, that's good. I'm having all sorts of hallucinations. Dude, bishop h6, g6. I'm crazy. Right, I have this. Oh, the variation I was talking about was g6 right away. That's why I had a pawn on e5. He messed it up. He played pawn takes pawn. That's the whole point. He varied from what I was recommending. Oh, no. I mean, one of the points is, like, if he ever tries this, I'm grabbing that knight, you know. Otherwise, bishop d7 would be defensive idea in a lot of positions. So now he's just simply playing bishop f6 and everything's fine. After that move, he's probably solid. Extra treatment. It's a funny comment. Yellow Dragoon, guys, is streaming as well. You should check out his stream. I subscribed. I don't know how often you guys, you're streaming, Dragoon. All right. Unfortunately, I wish I had more time to watch other people stream. It would be fun. Mr. Arsenal found the way, but he's dropped an exchange. He didn't fall for bishop f6, bishop g7. But you know what? Maybe that didn't work. Damn, dude. So I missed bishop f6, bishop g7, h5. Bishop f6, knight f5. But that should be good enough, right? Just simply knight f5 is going to be a big problem for black there. So he had to sack something. Maybe this is actually sound. Mr. Cuffy was just on. Our primary mod, one of our primary mods. He was just on. You just missed him. So we managed to win an exchange, and our development isn't actually that bad. We've only got to get the knight out now. Queen d7. This is fine. I wonder if this was actually sound. Guys, my theory is that 99% of tactics don't work. Not trading pieces. Good for you. Good for you. He's got a little bit of compensation. A pawn and a bishop for the rook. Yeah, that's not that easy. Who's left? So we're going to take the two titled guys, and then we'll see if we have any time left for further gameplay. Actually, I've got to go at around 1:30, so probably not. You're bothering me, son. Gotta trade down the dangerous attacking pieces here. Queen e8, rook e1. Surrounding that key e4 pawn. I also own the d file if he trades queens, so this looks pretty tough for black. Objectively, it's probably winning. With my technique, though, I'm not sure. All right. What do we got? Wannabe and Yellow Dragon. Uh-oh, it's going to be tough. 26 and 2500s. I dropped like 60 rating points like last week. What happened? This is my rapid rating? Oh, this is my rapid rating. All right. Those are Blitz ratings. I dropped 60 points in rapid. I lost a draw in endgame against like a 1500. And I resigned in a position that wasn't even clear. I hallucinated that my king couldn't move up in this casual, well, it was a rated rapid game I was playing. The guy was like 1700. It was really weird. My king had to move up or I would lose a piece. And I could move it to like g6, g5. And I sat there and I stared at the position for like 2 minutes. And I was convinced that I couldn't move my king up. And after the game, when I looked at I was like, I could move my king to g5. It was legal and I just couldn't see it. Queen d4. Or queen e2. Yeah, I didn't know whether to like quit, resign. I was pissed. I lost like 60 rating points losing a slightly better endgame to a 1700. I just thought I lost a piece and resigned. It was so strange. It was a draw, probably. Alright, what's the deal here? Trade it down. Always breathing a sigh of relief when I get the queens off against Arsenal fan. Grinding him down in the exchange up endgame. Isn't that simple? But it should be a win. I mean, exciting. It's not. Kind of hard to get myself free. Get free here. I don't really like putting all my pawns in the dark squares. Whatever. Probably doesn't matter. It's not like I have a bishop. Putting my pawns on, it's better. Putting my pawns on dark squares restricts his bishop. Surprisingly difficult to break through here. Maybe I should play b4, a4, but I don't want to weaken my queen side. Wait for him to make a mistake, I guess. I just can't believe there's any realistic drawing chances here in this. Now we're winning cold. If there were like 3 against 3 on the king side, even that's probably a win, but maybe not so easy. But if there's pawns on both sides, eventually something's gotta give. Alright guys, we're gonna play these brutes. I'm not sure who wannabe 2700 is, but we're gonna play him. I played him once before apparently. Alright, if he's still here. Waited through that 20-minute game. E3. Wasn't there a GM with that name before? Something like that? Watanabe. It's like a Japanese I am. Watanabe. Watanabe 2700. Alright, whatever. Let's play. I like that. It seems unfair that in lichess you can just think as long as you want on your first move. And you get unlimited time. Taking advantage of that. B3. Whatever. The F4. It's a Bird Larson. I lost really bad one time when I tried to play the Bird Larson with white. If I play knight c6, can he play bishop e5? See, this is like a secret move. I think in my game where I was white years ago, I did something like queen e1, allowing d4. Actually, you could probably do that and still play bishop e5 on a later move. He's basically just losing a tempo off a... He's basically playing black in a Queen's Indian, Nimzo. It's okay for both sides. Knight g4. Knight g4, bishop g7, knight e3. I don't think that's gonna work. No, seriously. But you could play knight e1 or something like that. This is such a lockdown. I'm not sure. Can I play d5 pawn sacrifice? d4 in this case? Isn't that good here? So if d4, do you play like knight e5? You just close up the position? You can't, though. This is interesting. I mean, it totally makes sense. He has knight... Well, whatever he does, he's going to have problems knight here or knight here. I mean, it's a normal Queen's Indian idea. Pawn takes pawn. Actually, pawn takes pawn. Isn't he just... Alright, so knight g4, bishop c1. Knight e3, bishop takes, pawn takes. It's got to be good for black. There's other options as well. Okay, he's playing like bullet. e5 is interesting. f5 is interesting. Knight e3 is interesting. In it to win it. Alright. We're in there. I remember once, like 30 years ago, it seems like now, I played the young Josh Friedel, who's a GM. I was white in a... I played a b3. This is the only game where I beat him. Maybe I beat him twice. But... Yeah, I did beat him twice. But... He got me with this white square bishop. It's the same thing. If that becomes strong, I mean, white is just done. f5 is a very dangerous thing. No? The bishop is a killer. Okay, the position doesn't win itself, but I have really nasty breakthroughs. Many possibilities. Maybe I'm playing like this guy's student or something. You never know who you're playing. I think he's just playing ultra fast. Queen d5. Actually, it's not that bad for white. He can lock it up. I thought maybe I had g5. Maybe we do. Let's do it. You only live once. I mean, I think we got to be aggressive here. There's no time for half measures. All right. Now knight takes g2. No, I mean, he's played an unorthodox opening, man. I mean, I don't mean to insult him, but he knows he's playing kind of coffee house here. But you never know. You never know, dude. I mean, he's playing super fast, and I don't know him, so he could like be trolling me by having his like 1900 student play me. You never know who you're playing against. That's mate. Mate is not good. Here we have a problem. Mate must be stopped. Unfortunately, he has knight e6. I have rook f7 at the end. Okay, so we're good. Rook f7 at the end. His pieces are still at home on the queen side. We have to play this like a long-term stack, I guess. It's exceedingly dangerous for white. All these pieces just don't function. Seems like he has to get mated here. I mean, I don't even need to recapture that. Oof. All right, man. Thanks for the game. Yellow Dragoon. The Dragoon. FIDE Master Extraordinaire. We got to take this guy seriously. Uh-oh, it's the Open Sicilian. I was expecting him to play his standard stuff there. Thanks for not playing the Marazzi. I love the Marazzi. It's good fun for black. Maybe we can learn something from Yellow Dragoon. He's probably more up-to-date than me. So I was going to play this. This is a good move to prevent white from playing certain lines. It's kind of a new idea. Not super new. It's been around for like maybe 10 years, but maybe less. It looks weird, but white now can't really find a way to play whether kingside or queenside. H4. Oh man, this is probably the move I know the least. Oh, what do I do against H4? Am I supposed to just play H5? Damn, I don't know. Is H4 even a normal move here? Should be. Oh man, I'm out of book already. H4. What happens if Queen A5? Then F3. Or Queen D2. Oh man, I don't even know. I don't know if H4, I don't remember. I think it's a move. It's probably like just not the main line. It seems like E6 is a little slow. Oh no, no, Arsenal, don't start with H6. No, dude. Don't listen to the man behind the curtain. There ain't no way you could play H6 here. I mean, H5 might be a move. H6. Please. We can't be doing any H6. That is not a move. Man, I don't know. Is it E6? Is it D5? Is it Queen A5? Maybe D5 makes sense. Gelfand. Unfortunately, Yellow Dragoon might actually know this. It's possible he just played H4 on intuition. F3 is kind of normal. This may just be completely bogus, what I'm doing. Damn it, H4. It's not the main line, that's all I know. All I know is Knight A5 or Knight B4? Both interesting. I mean, I'd like to take out his white square bishop. If bishop a4, obviously I have to play bishop d7. Doesn't look very standard. I can't sack an exchange here, like Arsenal. I'm very curious. Is h4 really a line? It should be, right? Why? What? It's very logical. It's possible I'm supposed to play h5. I mean, very possible. Actually, I was not really excited to weaken the g5 square, but it's kind of hard for me because I don't play the regular dragon. I play the accelerated dragon, and this is like a hybrid of the regular dragon and the accelerated. I've never played rook e8. This is like maybe the second game where I played it. But looking at preparation, I don't remember seeing h4. Maybe later, but not right away. I'm sure it's been played. It just looks like e6 is slow here. I felt like I had to do something more direct. He's basically becoming a materialist. It's a temporary pawn sacrifice. Hopefully it's not permanent. It looks like it could become permanent pretty easily. But anyway, at least we have the bishop pair. He doesn't really know where to put his king. Probably queenside. No, Arsenal, if you play bishop f6, I just played bishop h6. You're going to be sacking the exchange anyway. But this time, it's like, you don't feel like it's a sacrifice. At first, I thought you had, I thought I had, you know, what was it? Some sacrifice. Oh, this is inconvenient. He's just simply castling. I was looking at knight f4, but there's no need for him to do that. Yeah, maybe we should start thinking about h5 at some point. It may just make my position worse, though. How about e6, sacrificing a pawn? If I can trade queens, I wouldn't mind taking on g2. There was nothing after king h6, king h8. What? I don't remember king h8 even ever being a move for you. It's weird. Wouldn't I like be triple attacking g7? Maybe I should just take on g2 here. Pretty good bishops. I think I need to wreck his pawn structure. Brexit. Breck rhymes with wreck. Brexit his pawn structure. A little UK theme for the Yellow Dragoon. Now h5 anyway. I'll take with the pawn. No, I have knight takes h5. Okay. Phew. You're not winning a bishop. Okay, deep calculation involved there. With h5, knight takes h5. We sort of bamboozled our way to a decent position here. I'm down a pawn, but his structure is not great with doubled pawns and isolated pawns. 2 bishops for black. That's a big hole. And a double threat. That could be a problem. Shit. Oh no. Yeah, I have 94. Like, only move. Looks like only move. Man. Rook check, rook d7, rook e7. What am I going to do next? Bishop a6. He just traded. I don't really have any threats per se. All of his stuff is protected except for his h4 pawn. I could lose this game in like one move very easily. Wow. Just keep running, child. Run. Run, my child. That's a problem. Sneaky. He missed a major tactic there. Damn. What? I'm afraid to take on b2 that my bishop gets trapped. What's that? Are you just going after my queenside pawns? Oh, another pawn. Sucks. Mate. Yeah, there's no moves left. No pawns left. Man, good game. Good game. What's up with the opening? My god. Looks like I totally messed it up. H4. Yeah, so this has been played by Neji. The least common response. H4. I don't know what I'm supposed to do after that. I neglected to study this move. H4. So the jury's out. D5 or E6. H5 is possible. H4 is interesting, man. I'm sure you missed wins. You were better. I mean, you had to be better. But I'm really interested in the opening. The computer doesn't trust this line I played. Nikolai Ninov? It's probably a correspondence game or something. The computer says maybe we played the best line. Takes knight A5. And now the engine says queen D2. Alright, man, it was a good game. I'm sure you were winning. I don't want to look at the graph. I'm sure you're winning somewhere. It was messy, but the end was funny. Thank you for playing Yellow Dragoon. We'll be back, guys. This was an interesting opening, though. Something new. I'm glad you played a critical line, and I'm glad that we got something unique, you know, with the H4. So something to look at. Thanks, everybody, for playing and for watching. This is International Master William Paschall. Thanks to Yellow Dragoon. You can check out his stream as well. It was a fun game. Glad to beat him. We had 130 cent pawn loss for Yellow Dragoon, 95 for me. Standard game. Anyway, guys, it was fun. I'll see you tomorrow for a tournament, 6:30 p.m. CET here on lichess and Twitch. And from the Panda and myself, have a great night. Thanks for watching and thanks for subscribing. Ho, ho, ho. Bye-bye, guys.